What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is T.E. Lawrence, and here's the awaited video of the future of this channel, as well as a big announcement, and there will be a lot to cover, so sit tight and get comfortable. In my last video, I announced that I'd be moving on from Helltaker content on this channel. The TLDR is that I've reached my limit with Helltaker and don't want to milk it any further, and wish to move on to other things. Therefore, as I've started planning out my post-Helltaker revamping of this channel, I realized it would require some significant changes from the original plans laid out previously by the channel intro and the state of the channel. Now, rest assured, the planned content itself will not change. Don't worry, I'm not gonna start making some drama slop content, or god forbid, furry ASMR videos. Yeah, so rest easy there. I've mentioned before that I want to start covering some of my other favorite fandoms like Halo, which is one of the greatest sci-fi shooter and space opera titles ever made. Along with Halo will also include other games like StarCraft and Fallout, courtesy of Capitan Slade. But I also want to cover other mediums like movies, cartoons, and anime. Some examples include Interstellar, Avatar, and Black Lagoon. I'd even like to revisit some Flash games lost in time like Raze or The Last Stand, which made up my childhood. In addition, as an artist, I'd like to talk about the specific aesthetics of various media as well, such as the cyberpunk style of Deus Ex, the atompunk style of Fallout, and the solarpunk style of Stardew Valley. Suffice it to say, there's a lot I want to do. And as someone who's very passionate about world building and exploring the lore of various media, I'd like this channel to be a vessel for such endeavors. Vessel is the key word because, if you can't tell by now, we're in a spaceship, floating in a mysterious galaxy. And we will use this to journey throughout different worlds and learn about them. In other words, I would like you to feel like you're actually traveling along with us, sort of like an ARG. And I will still include speed paints of my art as well, but again, I want to offer more than that and not just become some other art commentary channel. That said, what will change is where the content will be delivered from. In my 2025 channel intro video, I laid out all kinds of content planned for this year, which also included other miscellaneous things such as personal stories and shower thoughts. And I would still like to make these non-lore and world-building content, but as I've started laying out the roadmap for the future, I've realized some glaring issues with putting different and unrelated content all on a single channel. For one, YouTube's algorithm will be confused as hell. Although the inner workings of the YouTube algorithm is way beyond the scope of this video, the basic gist is that YouTube recommends your videos towards users it believes it will like your videos. Wow, what a shocker. And it does so by figuring out what your niche is and what kind of audience your videos retain. However, a channel with videos that are wildly different and unrelated from each other will make it difficult for YouTube's algorithm to figure out what the channel is even about. Therefore, as the algorithm struggles to recommend your videos to new viewers, the overall promotion of the channel will also struggle. Secondly, it's not just the algorithm that struggles to figure out the channel, but also your audience. Most users follow a channel for a specific reason, expecting a specific kind of content. And just like the algorithm, when users see a channel with wildly different and unrelated content, they will understandably be confused and unsure whether to commit to said channel. I myself as a consumer found myself in the same predicament, where a channel I initially subscribed to began making completely different content from what I originally followed it for, and therefore made me unsubscribe. And in my case, the audience that would like my lore and world building content is different from the audience that would like those other miscellaneous content. Therefore, it makes no sense to put everything in one channel, which will not only leave a confusing message about my content, but also risk leaving neither audience pleased. Now, it is theoretically possible to cultivate an audience that will follow you for just you, regardless of the kind of content. But that is an extremely delicate balancing act and, frankly, something mostly tenable to massive creators with an already huge following. Meanwhile, I'm still a nobody with a small channel. So, yeah. And as someone who's trying to not only grow this channel, but also make art and content creation my living, I need to have a strategic approach with all of this and take these factors into consideration. If this channel was just a mere hobby for me, none of this would matter and I'd be fine with posting whatever I like. But once again, I'm trying to go pro, so I need to do what needs to be done to make this my living. Therefore, as some of you may have guessed by now, I decided to make a second channel, which is where all my non-lore and non-world building content will go to. All those miscellaneous content, as well as anything else that doesn't really fit into this channel, will be uploaded on this new channel. And this new channel will be called Lawrence of Valeria. And accordingly, The new channel will also have a different theme and aesthetic, including the host himself. Take it away, sir. Thank you, sir. Hi, I am Lawrence of Valeria. As my doppelganger just laid it out, it is important to hone down with a niche, or at the very least stick to a broad genre, in order to have a sustainable channel. And it's not just because of the algorithm, but it's also not fair to your subscribers. For example, if I made a channel covering Fallout content and then suddenly I started making furry ASMR videos, how do you imagine the Capitan reacting to such bizarre turn of events?
What the hell is this guy smoking? Is my feed working correctly?
Exactly. And while it is possible to work around that by making ASMR content with furries cosplaying as Fallout characters, that would be absolutely cursed, as well as a severe loss of dignity. In any case, if you're interested in those other miscellaneous content like personal stories and any other non-gaming content, please subscribe to Lawrence of Valeria. Whereas the main channel will remain in fantastical realms, my channel will be much more grounded and quote-unquote real. So, if that interests you, come check out the new channel. And by the way, we're totally not the same person. Thank you kindly, good sir. Though, you could have come up with a better example than furries, dude. Hey, you brought it up in the first place. Fair point. Anyways, go check out the second channel, Lawrence of Valeria. All that said, here are the new changes in conjunction with the new channel. First, the formation of the second channel will impact the scheduling of videos and possibly my 1,000 subscriber goal as well. In my state of the channel, I said I'd produce 2 videos per month, but now that I'm dividing my content into 2 channels, it kind of throws a wrench into the whole promise. Therefore, the new plan for the remainder of the year is to produce at least 1 video per month for each channel. That way, I'm still technically producing at least 2 videos per month. However, if you want to follow only one of my 2 channels, it will certainly be a reduction of content, and therefore, I apologize for the inconvenience. But given everything I've explained so far, I hope you understand the rationale behind the decision. And because of the reduction of content for this channel, the likelihood of reaching 1,000 subs before the end of the year becomes a bit slim, which is also unfortunate. Still, it's a necessary step to take, because the alternative is to risk having this channel go through a massive identity crisis and therefore stifling growth altogether. Furthermore, on a minor note behind the scenes, I'm currently in the process of switching editing software. The one I've got my eyes on is DaVinci Resolve because it's free and the free version already comes with abundant features. So far, I've been using iMovie, and while it does the job well, it can only do so much. And I'd like to really up my game with video production, especially with the ARG elements. Therefore, there is a possibility for content to slow down in July and August, as I try to get the hang of learning the new tools. So sorry for all that inconvenience as well. But again, if I want to take this seriously, I can't keep using iMovie forever. But just to make up for it, I will try to live stream more to stay in touch with all you guys. One thing I want to avoid at all costs is to disappear for a couple weeks before suddenly reappearing when people have already forgotten about me. So expect a lot of yapping this summer. So, there you have it for the future plans of this channel, along with the creation of the second channel. I know this is a lot to take in, given the previous news of moving on from Helltaker, which is already a big change in itself. Trust me, even I'm struggling to adapt to all these developments behind the scenes by constantly having to shift gears and struggling to find out my next moves. But like any other journey, one has to work through the various hurdles as well as make some sacrifices to reach the end goal. Nothing worth having comes easy after all. So once again, I sincerely hope you understand where I'm coming from and thank you so much for your patience. I promise all of this will be worth it at the end. And once again, please check out my second channel, Lawrence of Valeria. The first intro video has already been posted. So thank you in advance and until next time. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon for supporting this channel. My $5 patrons are Kapitan Sladek, Kidzap, and Chocobird. My $2 patrons are Komida the Prep Cook Demon. If you would like to appear at the end credits of my videos, as well as have early access and exclusive content on Patreon, feel free to hop on over to patreon.com/LTELawrence and give a pledge. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you would like to see my artwork as well, feel free to check out my other platforms like DeviantArt for my entire gallery. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, this is T. Lawrence signing out. Have a good one.